Go ahead.
No, we need to have like this one. Like we can use other materials. Like if like these are cheap little pieces of shit. And then like we have no, we need to have like
Hey guys, so today we're just going to be talking about how teens are aware of the environmental issues. So most adults and skeptics believe that teens are not aware of the environmental issues just because of the fact that we are teens. And they think we don't care because we don't like even think about it, but if they didn't know, now they know. We do think about it. We obviously live here. This is our environment. This is where we socialize. This is where we do things. So it's probably going to be like one of the main things that are going on in our mind and stuff. And we are the next generation. So we do have to like realize and be aware of what's going on because these problems are going to be our problems very soon. So do we do enough? In theory, yes. Because first, we are not financially stable yet. Like, we don't have jobs, or we don't have like really big careers that would help us like donate money or products or anything that would help. Second, we do have school commitments or work commitments. Some of us like work, for after school and maybe play sports, and we're at school for about 7 hours a day. So where is the time if you're not doing homework or if you're not doing an after school curricular activity, And third is we're not even taken seriously. Like nobody wants to give us that power. Nobody wants to like give us that voice like, oh, you're teenagers, what would you know? A lot of us would like to learn. So in 2007, Hubble and Green Space put out this survey, which is given to about 50,000 teenagers, and 74% of the teens did believe that global warming was a huge issue that needed to be talked about. And as you can see, we do have opinions and we do want to voice them out, and Hubble and Green Space was a prime example of letting teens show that they really care. Another example of teens showing how they really care now is schools are now giving teenagers a chance to, show how they want to take care of the environment. For example, at Brockton High, we do have our own gardens, which is like really great because how are you going to learn how to create or procreate and only know how to destroy? And at other schools and in other regions, schools do produce soybeans, which produce bioethanol, which is a biofuel. Biofuel would be able to, fuel cars or fuel homes or give off like electricity, because it's a better way that teens are actually using to help the environment. Skeptics also believe that like social media is going to drive us away from these issues, but they are wrong. Instead, they're bringing light to these issues amongst ourselves. There are people who use their videos or their pictures or their tweets or their like statuses to bring light upon these issues, and they even start groups or communities or events online to help make it a worldwide participation. And it's not also worldwide affairs or nationwide affairs. We're also involved in our own local affairs. Like for example, in Brockton, they're contemplating on whether to build a power plant. And most of the teens are very aware of this, and we even debated it in our classrooms whether we should or we should not. It's the little debates like that that make us know like, wow, we're actually like a part of something. Like we're able to voice out our opinions, and maybe we could find a way to just like help ourselves or help each other or help everything that's around us. And I also decided to interview some students at Brockton High, and I asked them what were the most important environmental issues. So we're just gonna go on to that. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you one question, Kat. What do you think is the most important environmental issue right now?
The most important environmental issue. Well, I think it's the conservation of water because we only have like a specific amount of water, and so like once we like use it all up, there's nothing that we can do anymore, and we should just conserve it, even if it's like drinking all your water bottles or like saving water, like or like cutting down the shower time you take showers. That's really important because we only have so much fresh water, and yeah.
So what do you think countries that do have a limited amount of water do that we should like follow?
I think since they're forced and they don't have that amount of water, like they really like, what's that word called? They value the water, so they do what they can. Like they like wash everything all at once, you know, like they don't waste water, and they use it for a certain amount of time. Like limit, like if you open the sink, use it for 30 seconds and then shut the water.
Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
Hey guys.
Hey.
All right, so what do you think is the most important environmental issue right now?
Definitely GMO. Yeah, definitely. We don't know how the processed food is really affecting us yet, and we don't want it to be too late before we can fix the problem.
Can you give me an example of like a type of genetically modified food?
Like corn. Corn is supposed to be like this small, but the corn that we eat today are like this big, maybe a little bit smaller or bigger.
So what do you think could be some effects in the future of genetically modified food?
A lot of the real nutrients that we need, we're probably not going to be able to get from the food because they're not the actual food, they're genetically modified.
Also, it probably can affect our growth, like maybe like stop it or like make it go too quickly.
How do you perceive the environment, Andrew?
Well, I think the environment, well, it's not dirty, but I guess it's not clean as it used to be. With the air pollution, all the factories and coal getting into to produce power, because see people's iPhones, like everything, wearables are just coming into style now. They all need charge, and companies need energy, so they burn coal to have generators to supply that energy for that demand. So the environment right now, I think it's going to get worse. Maybe 2016, 2017, like the air quality is not going to be that great. And teenagers are getting cars, so they're not taking buses as much. So I think that contributes to the air pollution, also the environment. Like there's trash on the ground, and in large cities they try to incorporate trash cans on every street. But I think that you need to start, like, I know there's been PSA about pollution and about throwing trash on the ground, but I think that it should start like as like we should make like common sayings that should be like inside the house, like don't leave trash, like just like in your house you wouldn't leave trash on the ground. Just treat your city as your house. So the environment right now, I think with effort by common people and like political figures should maybe, I don't know, maybe in 50 years, 60, maybe 100, because at the rate right now, air pollution is going up due to factories. Countries are developing. So I think the whole world as an initiative should, cut down on like hours and how much they produce, how much of their air quality, how much waste they produce, how much waste into landfills. So that could make, I don't know, small substantial difference, but that's a start.
I read not too long ago that there's frozen deposits of methane underneath the polar ice caps, and if the ice caps melt and those deposits of methane melt, it accelerates the greenhouse effect, thus making the entire world a little bit warmer. And we don't want that.
Have you ever like read anything about like things we could do to like prevent it or anything?
I mean, the whole accelerated greenhouse effect could happen within the next 100 years, but I'm pretty sure we should just switch from fossil fuels to like electric cars and stuff. I mean, I know they have that now, the whole hybrid Priuses and things like the Chevy Volt and the one of the Tesla cars that are all electric. I feel like if we explored those options, we could help, steer clear of that whole catastrophic plan.
And how do you feel about our use of fossil fuels right now?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How do you feel about our use of fossil fuels right now? Do you think we use them too much?
I mean, I feel like fossil fuels in general was a very stupid idea. Not because it doesn't get anything done. Granted, it does. It gets a lot done. But, I mean, fossil fuels, I mean, it's a finite quantity of what is in the earth. And, if we explored other options like the sun, we have constant flows of energy entering the Earth's atmosphere, and we should use that instead, because it'll last a lot longer than the fossil fuel.
Thank you.
Yep.
We on? Alright. 1, 2, 3, go!
So basically, to wrap up the whole video, teens will always be aware of the environment just because it's like, this is our home, this is where we stay. Like, the issues that are like around us will always affect us, whether we like it or not. So we might as well stay aware and be conscious of what we do and everything. So thanks for watching.
So good.